to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. My name's Lyndon. In this video, I'm going to share and discuss with you one of the best apps that you could possibly get for your saxophone practice, your development of your knowledge, and just having fun playing. And it's useful. You could definitely use this in gigs in a couple of different ways. And it is, of course, the app called iReal Pro. It's absolutely fantastic. And at the end of this video, I'm going to bring you something really special, because we've got a bit of a giveaway with some iReal Pro codes. So iReal Pro was first released in 2008 and it was created or developed by an American bass player by the name of Massimo Bialcati. I do hope I've pronounced that correctly, who's originally from Italy. It's just used by so many jazz musicians. All of the jazz musicians that I know have iReal Pro on their phone or their iPad or their tablet, and that's one of the first things that I'd like to share with you, is that iReal Pro is available across all platforms. Doesn't matter if you have a PC or a Mac or a desktop or a tablet, if it's Android or if it's an Apple product, it's available for everything, which is absolutely so convenient and just amazing. In the old days, so iReal is a collection of chord charts, and what we used to do before iReal Pro is that people had books like this. As you can see, this is like a telephone directory. It physically weighs a ton, and it costs £35 or more, which isn't bad for, you know, a huge volume, a book with hundreds of tunes in it is really useful. But you'd need one for E flat and you'd need another one for B flat, and that was just one volume. And they have loads and loads of volumes of these, and I still, on my bookshelf, although I don't use them because I use iReal Pro now, but I used to have loads of books of these, and it wasn't uncommon if you went to a jam session that someone would literally have to bring a suitcase or a trolley or a laundry bag full of these books so that they could search through and be able to have a chord chart for a tune, unless you have the capacity to memorize all of the chord charts for all songs. So really inconvenient way of practicing, and what iReal has digitized all of that and more. So let's have a look at the app. You have, as you can see here, I've got Autumn Leaves, and this is exactly the same format that you would find in a book, and it has all of the chords. Now what I can do at the moment, this is the E flat part, but if I want to, I can go to transposing instrument, and if I touch on there, I can put that into B flat or E flat or F or G. These are all, or C if I want to just use it with the pianist, which is really just amazingly convenient. So that wipes out having to have 2 or 3 or 4 different books. You've just got the one app. And by the way, once you've purchased the app, or if you get a free download code from me, you get all of the tunes completely free of charge, which is just amazing. Really great. So you've got this chord chart here, which is fantastic, but what's even better is that if I hit play down here, it will actually play those chords for me. So let's have a quick listen. Nice. Yeah, and I could obviously play along with that if I wanted to. Yeah. So that's really useful. That's just such an amazing resource if it just stopped there, but it doesn't, because this is an app that just keeps giving. So I can manipulate the tempo. I could take that tempo up or down to any tempo that I like. That's one thing that I can do. I can also manipulate the backing track. So the style of that backing track was on medium swing, but I could take it up to, look at all of these different genres that I can put this particular backing track or any of the backing tracks into. Really just fantastic. So if you get bored, or you want to just change the feel, you can. I can control how many times it repeats. I've just got it up to a ridiculous 18 times so that I can practice and practice and practice, and obviously it will never get bored of listening to my solos trying to develop. And I can change the key, and if I do change the key, it will transpose it into E flat for me, or B flat if I'm using my tenor sax. And if I'm not sure, oh no, I've changed the key, what key was it in originally? Well, they've highlighted the key that it's usually in, because these tunes usually come in a standard key. So I just go back to the highlighted one. So can you see that if I change the key, it will highlight the key that it's usually in, that everybody usually plays it in, which is just mind-bogglingly useful. Not only that though, again, it just keeps giving. What I can do is that I can loop a particular section. So if I wanted to just to loop this part here, I'm going to take the tempo up so it's not quite so draggy, just for demonstration purposes. And look, it will loop that little section. Isn't that amazing? And highlights the bit that it's playing, which is just fantastic. So if I just wanted to practice my chord tones, absolutely amazing. Just incredible. It's just such a powerful resource. As far as I'm concerned, as somebody who teaches saxophone on a daily basis, I use this all the time. It's just useful every single day. But it doesn't stop there. Again, this app just keeps giving. And as you might have seen, if I look at these chords and I see this F sharp Locrian scale, if I touch there, can you see that it pops up with a box that tells me what that scale and chord is? It's got the chord on the left hand side, and it's got the scale tones going up, so that I can find out what the notes are if I've got any doubts what the notes are. Not only that, if I touch this, it will give me if there's any other options. So in this case, it also suggests a different type of Locrian scale as well. And if I do that on something like let's see, this A minor, if I touch the A minor, whoops. Now, if I touch this, so it tells me that it tells me that it's probably a Dorian, and it gives me the chord and the scale. And if I scroll through though, can you see these little dots at the bottom? If I scroll through, it'll give me some other options so it's saying, look, you could play a pentatonic minor, you could play a blues scale, you could play a bebop minor, you could play a minor scale which is an Aeolian, or you could play a Phrygian scale through that. And these are ordered in their most obvious, so that the most obvious choice or the most usual choice would be first, and then the more exotic choices get placed afterwards. I mean, how useful is that? You could just learn so much just from this one aspect alone. So it's just incredible. You can also print that chord chart, so you can go to here, and if you've got you can export chord chart, you can print it, you can share it with a friend. And actually what I have done, I've got a playlist, and I've created one which I've called Practice Tracks 1, and as you can see, I've got my 251 workout here, which is a 251 in all keys. I've got my major scales, which is something that you can never really kind of get bored of practicing, because there's so many different ways that you can practice it. A different type of 251 major 7 practice, so I can practice my major scales round the cycle, my minor scales, dominant sevenths, and my melodic minors, and the list goes on. So there's loads and loads. Now I've put a link in the description below. If you have iReal Pro, just click on that link and it will upload this practice set list to your iReal, so you can share your playlists with your friends, or other people can share things with you. Again, it's just absolutely fantastic. Down the left hand side you have the songs. Look, this has got 4,812 songs. So if I want to find a particular song, I would just, if I go back, I touch on song, and I go up here and I search autumn, and it will come up with all of the tunes that have got those letters in it. I've got lots of different versions of Autumn Leaves, as you can see, and Autumn in New York. So again, if I touch on one of those, there's Autumn in New York for me. And again, I can play that in any style. It's just unbelievable, mind-bogglingly good. Another thing that I want to show you is how you would set this up from scratch. So what you would do is, once you've downloaded the app, how you get all of these tunes is you touch on, can you see this globe at the top here? Touch on that, and a very helpful box comes in, pops up rather, and it says quickly import the main playlists below or search among thousands of chord charts in their forums. But they've got your most popular choices here, so you just touch on there, and it said, would you like to import this playlist? And you go yes, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Now that 1,460 jazz tunes has been uploaded to my device. And you've got Brazilian and Latin, blues, pop and country. So if I'm looking for a particular song that isn't one of the 4,812 songs that are contained in there, which almost definitely are if it's not something really obscure, but if I'm looking for something particular and it isn't there, all I have to do is to go, if I go back up to this globe, and then if I go to the home icon there, and then I go search, and then I type in the thing that I'm searching for. So let's say something easy, blue bossa, which will definitely be on there already, but I'm just going to go for that. So search for blue bossa. And if I go here, look, blue bossa, and somebody has loaded it up, blue bossa, and then I just go import song, and that will add it to my song list. So let's do that, import song, right, and there it is, right, and it's just come straight up. It's just mind-bogglingly good. It's so useful. So that's how you would get all of your songs on there, and you can make playlists. And as you can see, I've got lots of playlists for my Sax and Honey jazz duo. I did a gig in a gastro pub called the Park Pub and Kitchen. They wanted me to do some jazz, so you can have a quick look at that. And there's Besame Mucho and Wave and Ipanema, Grande Amor and Summertime and Corcovado and the Pink Panther. So it's just mind-bogglingly good. Really good. So that is how you use it. Now what you can do is that you can actually create your own chord charts. Now I must confess that this isn't something that I've done loads of, but you can edit and you can create your own chord chart. Now the only reason that I haven't really spent much time creating my own chord charts is because there's like 5,000 tunes there, and I wouldn't really need to, because if I wanted something I could just go and find it. But that is another feature of this amazing app, that you can create your own chord charts if you want to. So I'm super excited to have teamed up with iReal Pro. I think it's an amazing, just essential tool, again, that I personally used every day, and I wanted to share this with you and bring you something special. So the first 15 people who download one of my major scale courses on my website, I'm going to put a link in the description below so that you can just click on it if you'd like to, for tenor or for alto sax, will receive a free product code for iReal Pro. Now, iReal Pro is just essential, as I've been, banging on about, but it's just so good. So this is a limited offer. I only have 15 codes, and I'd love to share them with you. So once again, go and download my major scale course, and you will get a free iReal Pro product code. If you already have iReal Pro, you can completely free of charge go and download my personal, one of my favorite practice set lists, which is in the description below. Right, now I really hope you found that useful and interesting. Please do go and visit my website, which is saxmadesimple.com, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.